Jordan trying to shake off Starks. Oh, what a move by Jordan.
Well, just based on that, welcome to the May 9th edition of the Stepback podcast, where we're delving into Michael Jordan's dominance over the New York Knicks. I don't want to say rivalry, but this is what we're going to talk about today. So, Leon, let them know what we're doing, baby.
Afternoon, boys. Welcome to the 10th episode of Step Back. That's right, 10. Here with Dong City host Henry Maldonado Jr. Waiting for my main man, Jacob Moses. He'll be on later on.
You on color people time.
Back. Here to delve into the 5th and 6th episodes of The Last Dance. Reliving the 90s. Knicks Bulls, you can call it a rivalry. It was really one-sided.
Yeah, it really was.
This documentary has been entertaining and frustrating at the same time. You as a Knicks fan reliving that all over again. How does that feel?
It was like I told you before we came on. I was early teens when the rivalry was going on. So, it really hurt and it sucked to watch. And you always thought, all right, we're gonna get him this time. We're gonna get him this time. And he always pulled the rabbit out of his ass, man. Always pulled the rabbit. And I was telling you that I think if that happened now as an adult, man, as much as I'm invested, I'd probably cry, man. The way we were losing and the way the heartbreak was happening, I'd probably go up in a ball and cry, man. It's brutal what Mike did to us.
I mean, it wasn't just 1 year. It was year after year. Yeah. Came in 84, dropped 50, and hasn't looked back since.
First game at MSG, dropped 33 points. I mean, that was what, November 8th, 1984.
And it was hard-ass ones.
And he didn't just drop 33. He blew us out. It was 121 to 106.
Yeah.
So, he started off his career on a high note and then never looked back.
And looking back at it, Ewing beat him in college, beat him more in the pros.
Yeah.
And you look at those Knicks teams during the 90s with Doc Rivers, and you go to Derek Harper, Mark Jackson. No matter what the team, Jordan always had the upper hand.
Yeah.
Until he left.
It's
that first time.
It's like he had another switch, man. Everyone was here. It's like he had nitrous, and he kicked that nitrous in, and then he just go to the next level, and everyone else was just behind him, and he was just a different animal.
Then looking at it, the documentary goes into the 93 series, game 1, game 2, Knicks up 2-0. And then all of a sudden, the papers, the media, they want to waken the beast.
I mean, that's what New York media does, man. They poke the bear. They poke the bear, and you saw what happened. Like I said, he hit that nitrous, and it was gone. He was gone.
Yeah, my man hit Atlantic City. He found him some juice. Imagine they try to pull that off now.
Could you imagine Mike's career if he played in New York with the accessibility to AC like that? And with all the headlines, I mean, Mike got his fair share of criticism, but I think if he were in the media capital of the world, it might be a little different.
Yeah, under this heavy scrutiny, look at what they did to Melo here, and kind of, to his credit, they didn't really break him. Oh, look at that.
See that? I always say Melo don't get the credit he needs, man. Melo wanted to be a Knick when people didn't want to be a Knick.
But you know whose fault that was? It was kind of his fault because Amari was the first one, and then Melo kind of forced his way here a bit.
That's just it. Melo forced his way here. Amari came for the money. Let's be real. Ain't nobody was giving Amari that contract after the microfracture surgery. He was the first player to get microfracture surgery, so he was a guinea pig.
Right.
And then, and then Melo forced his way. But what we gave up was so much that it hurt the team.
Really did.
Yeah. But yeah,
And
Melo definitely doesn't get enough credit. We should talk about that on another podcast for sure, because Melo doesn't get the love he deserves.
nah. So game 3, uh, Bulls win that. They go on to win 4 straight with the god awful game 5.
They whooped our ass. Let's call it what it is. They whooped our ass.
Everyone goes back to game 5. Charles Smith, 3 missed layups. You think any one of them was a foul?
At the time, yeah. At the time, yeah. I think looking at the replays now, slowing it down, I think it was just stellar defense and a little nerves. You know, all he had to do was dunk, and he kept trying to just
Yeah, it was like I'm not a fan, but it's just frustrating to know that you're so close and it's just a layup, shot to the basket. You take that. That's a game swinging series. Going back, what that was 2-2.
Yeah, but you also remember, and I think most Knicks fans, Charles Smith wasn't necessarily the most dominant dude. Like, it was like almost wasted size.
Mm-hmm.
Like he wasn't that guy. Like you're like, come on, use that size, get in there, body people. He wasn't that.
Nah, but the way that Knicks team was constructed, it was just a bunch of power forwards.
Yeah.
They had no offensive firepower. For years, Ewing needed help, and his second gun was Starks.
Let's call it what it is. It was a cheaper, watered down version of the late, the Pistons of the '80s. That toughness, that grit. That if you're gonna come in here, you're gonna get hit. But we never took that next level. We didn't have that singular player to just put everybody on his back and just ride us to his chip. So
Yeah, it's frustrating to watch. And Starks, you go back to the '94 finals, 0 for whatever from 3, and they lose to the Rockets.
I mean, but that's John Starks. He's a shooter. He's gonna keep shooting.
Facts. Documentary also features '93 finals with Bulls and the Suns. MVP that year, Charles Barkley.
Often underrated Charles Barkley, man. That man don't get enough credit.
None. Epic game 3, triple overtime. We had the game on in the group. It was actually a weird game because the Bulls tied it in regulation with a Scottie Pippen shot off the glass. And then Marley missed the 3 to win in the first overtime, and he was wide open.
Yeah.
And then Barkley just took over in the third overtime, and the rest is history. But that Suns team was 62-20. Paul Westphal, Danny Ainge, and Marley, Tom Chambers, Richard Dumas. That team was loaded. But
forgot about Dan Marley, man. Wow.
And one of my most favorite underrated players, Kevin Johnson.
KJ was the man in NBA Jam.
He damn sure was.
You pull up from anywhere, KJ was hitting an NBA Jam
all day.
Yeah.
Little fun fact about Game 3, that triple overtime, Kevin Johnson played the entire game.
I did know that. Yes, I did.
Entire game. It was like damn near 60 minutes. So that was sight to behold. And in the documentary, we also featured the '92 finals. What was weird to me about this documentary, how they time jump. It's so frustrating.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the way they go back and forth and the timeline jump. I'm not a fan of that at all.
No.
They're toward the end of his career and here, and then 10 minutes later you're at his rookie season. It's just, I wasn't a fan of how that's chopped up and edited. So
yeah, me either. And then as watching it again, I kind of understood it because they're trying to start the story, but then you have to go back in order to give it some context. But
Somebody was watching The Godfather too much when they did this.
Oh my God.
Nah, I'm not a fan of it. I think a chronological timeline would be more beneficial and bring back memories and could show you the two separate set of teams that he had. You know, they kind of treat Kukoc as an afterthought here.
Yeah.
You know, they spent 20 minutes on Tony Kukoc, and then anybody who watched those Bulls knows Tony Kukoc meant way more than that. You know, I don't think Pippen got enough love in this documentary. I don't, you know, Rodman, the Rodman episode was nice to watch because, you know, they gave him his due there, but the Pippen one was full of controversies and bitching and moaning and contracts. It wasn't really emphasized on how, and I get it, it's a Michael Jordan documentary, it's not a Scottie Pippen documentary, but, you know, I'll always maintain that Mike doesn't have that career without Scottie.
You're right. You know, and this was something I somewhat alluded to before. Like, he throws compliments out, but it's kind of like underhanded.
It's Mike. It's a backhanded compliment. Yeah.
You know, so yeah, you know, Scottie was, I needed him, but he goes back to that game 7 against the Pistons. Did he really have a migraine? He pauses. I guess so.
Yeah, exactly.
You go back to Dennis Rodman. Oh, I need a vacation. Oh no, you can't let him go. Meanwhile, what has Jordan been doing the entire time?
Yep. Playing with hookers, cocaine, and casinos.
Something else? My man is snitching in every episode.
Yo. First of all, to the fact that they carried a camera crew and recorded everything back then is wild, living in the age that we live in now. So it's kind of crazy to think that there was enough wherewithal from whoever's perspective to record everything, because the best part of the documentary to me is seeing actual footage from shit happening then. Watching dudes get interviewed talking about it is different than being able to watch, you know, body language and reactions and you know, fans running up in the hall and all that crazy shit happening live. It's very different. So I will give credit to whoever's idea it was to carry a film crew around at all times. That was pretty dope.
It really was. And no matter who's around, you know who's doing the interview? Ahmad Rashad.
Ahmad Rashad ran the NBA in terms of media back in the day, man. You weren't going anywhere without Ahmad.
Inside stuff Saturday mornings.
Inside stuff was just, you know, he was breaking stories. You know, people were leaking things to him. Ahmad was the man.
So it also left off with it started off with.
Real quick, you know what I also remember looking at all the old footage?
Mm-hmm.
Marv Albert's toupees were worse than I remember.
I haven't seen him.
Oh my God, dude! They had him. He was up a few times. I'm like, damn, that toupee is horrible. But go ahead, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. It also goes along with his wardrobe, which we found out later on. So.
Oh, he was on some kinky shit.
Yo, that's on another
level. Have a whole podcast just on that one. Him getting busted in the hotel room and shit. I remember that, man.
Yo, that
was a kinky old man.
The man behind the mic.
Kinky ass old man.
So it starts off, episode 5 starts off with Kobe and MJ. You know, Kobe the heir apparent. You know, all-star game. MJ teaching the young fella.
That was cool to see.
It was.
Especially with, you know, Kobe's passing this past summer. That was really cool to see. You
know,
again, camera crew catching shit live.
It's crazy. Like, if he wants the ball, he needs a rebound, man.
Yeah.
This guy got some fucking nerve.
Yeah. I love it. I love how he was talking about Kobe at the time, because, you know, over the years you got to see their relationship flourish.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at the time nobody knew Kobe was going to be what he ended up being. So, you know, to Mike, it's just another flashy dude coming in the league trying to take my spot. You know, but there was a few dudes that tested Mike. Iverson's crossover is legendary, man.
You know, Grant Hill crossed him up pretty nice too.
Anybody that got beat by Mike, they held on to those singular moments when, you know, you one-upped them, whether it was the Starks dunk, you know, or the AI's crossover or Kobe getting them, you know, whatever it was, you held on to those singular memories because there wasn't many of them.
Yeah, you don't get them often. And speaking of like the competition, you look at it seems like he got frustrated every time someone was compared to him.
Mm-hmm.
Clyde Drexler, he took it out on him in the finals. Dan Marley, he thought Krause loved Marley for some reason, talking about he was a defensive player. And Tony Kukoc, which went later on in the documentary in the Dream Team.
Yeah, I was shocked to hear them shitting on him the way they were, man.
Me too.
The way they were mocking him and the way they were talking shit, I was shocked. You know, especially knowing that he ended up going there and them embracing him. But you know, it was crazy. Like I said, I love the live camera. You know, this generation always gets panned for, you know, recording everything, but look, late 80s, early 90s, everything's being recorded, and they had them big ass cameras back then. We ain't talking about little shit.
Like, you can't like hide this shit anywhere.
Whenever we have LeBron's documentary, you know, everything will be filmed on a phone, you know, but there'll be some crazy footage.
So also with the finals, Jordan hit 5 threes in the first half, and it was considered legendary.
Yeah.
You know, you got the famous shrug. Look later on at the Dream Team, Magic, Chris Mullin. Do you think Isaiah Thomas should have been on there?
I was going to ask you the same thing. I think he should have been on it. What do you think about all the back and forth that's kind of come out since then about Mike didn't have a part in it, Mike did have a part? What do you think?
I think Mike had a huge part in it, but I think underhanded, Magic had a bigger part at the time that he lets on.
I agree. I think that had more to do with Scotty and Magic than Mike.
Right.
I think Mike took the bullets because he knew if you had Isaiah on that team, it might, you know, mess with the chemistry because there's some animosity there. I don't think that one was on Mike. I think that was more Magic and Scotty.
I think so too. I also think Isaiah I thought Isaiah had a bad rap from the beginning. I thought he should have been in over Stockton. Shaq should have been in over Christian Laettner.
Yeah.
And Isaiah proved that when apparently, so he goes up against Stockton the next following season after he wins the title, lights Stockton up for 45.
So here's the thing with that. They're not the same kind of player. Oh, no. Look who's coming in hot.
But about a half hour.
Yeah, they're not the same type of player. You know, Isaiah scored more.
Right.
You know, Isaiah was a scorer, and Stockton was a facilitator. So I think those teams needed that facilitator.
I compared Isaiah to Kyrie Irving.
I can see it.
I thought, you know, they both get a bad rap, but
Kyrie does it to himself, man.
Yeah, he does.
Soft.
So here's the issue with comparing them. Kyrie's still kind of cooking, right? I don't think he's ever reached his potential. I don't know if he ever will at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You saw Isaiah's top potential. You saw what he could do. I don't think we ever fully saw or have seen Kyrie's max capability. So I don't know if I would compare them, but I get the idea, the type of player they are.
Right.
Yeah.
So we welcome our third member, Jacob Moses.
Yes, sir.
How you feeling, bro?
Show late ass.
Yes, I'm a black people town. That's right. Nah, it's all good.
Yeah, we said that earlier.
Nah, I had to do a few things, but yeah, I had to get on this one. Number 10. It's a milestone. I couldn't miss this one. Thank you, Henry, for being on. I see you looking good, looking better. I'm glad you getting your health back up.
Kind of lining up a little bit. Things are good.
There you go. That's what I like to hear.
Repping the Bronx today, man.
Here's me.
Wanna be like mine.
Yo, and that's crazy. The kind of marketing pull he had with, you know, $250,000 deal as a rookie for a sneaker.
Yeah.
That's
Mickey
unheard
D,
of
all
until
that.
nah, but yeah, he definitely changed the game. You get it, the sneaker game in general. You know,
Yeah.
man, that guy, he had those ones.
Nike was still a come up. Remember, Nike wasn't
Mhm.
what Nike is. Nike was a come up, was a
Yep.
new company, and I was having this conversation with Joey on the side in the group where those ones were trash. They weren't comfortable. They're not comfortable now. I know a whole bunch of people went out and got the Royal Blues that were just released. Them shits are not comfortable.
Yeah,
Those are not good basketball shoes as they develop. You know, the 3s and the 5s. Those are comfortable shoes. You know, but the ones, all fashion and no comfort whatsoever.
Yeah, I tried them on, I want to say once or twice, and I'm just like, I can't. It just felt.
Yeah.
Plus, it was Jordan too, so it kind of still rubs me the wrong way. But yeah, they're narrow and they hurt.
Yeah, as they go on, you know, some of the later Jordan releases, they're much more comfortable. 6s are comfortable, 11s, you know, are both legendary in terms of comfort and style. But yeah, there's just a few of them that I can't get with comfort wise.
Last time we were on, we discussed the music and the shoes. The music in this documentary has been on point.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They need to release a soundtrack.
Oh, for sure.
I think they have a soundtrack on like Spotify and whatnot.
That makes sense. Nice.
So this is pretty good. You know, you know, Special Ed with the I Got It Made. You got the Tribe Called Quest on there. You know, your man Pun. So it's been.
Yeah, that had me nuts. They opened with that.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, baby, El Bronx, baby.
Like we live in the 90s with these artists and whatnot. It brings back a special time. Jacob, I know we discussed a little bit earlier with the Jordan killing the Knicks. I know you got some little bit of thoughts on that. You know, how you feel with that?
Of course. I mean, it was a good time, but then it was just like a sucky time because every single time until Jordan left, they would kick our ass or we would get close. And then obviously the Charles Smith thing, and like Henry said, looking back on it, really wasn't. It was pretty good defense. Yeah. But dunk the ball. If you tried to dunk the ball,
that's what I said. Dunk the goddamn ball.
Dunk the ball, we would have been fine. But it showed his greatness. I mean, when he played the Knicks, Jordan was just like, okay, this is I'm gonna kick the ass. That's about it. I know him and Ewan had like a rivalry. They had a friendly. They were pretty much they're good friends. But when they got on that floor, but he was the X factor. You know, as you can see, in '94, you take him out of the equation, Knicks, we win. But he was special. I'll give him that. He was special.
You know what I hated? I hated when they wore those black uniforms.
Oh, and we always got our hands kicked when those
because we got scorched every time, but B, they were so fucking fly.
Yeah,
those black uniforms are so dope. So you're like, damn. Not only is he kicking our ass, but he's looking pretty damn good doing it. You know?
And then he just get you on a post, and you know his fadeaway was coming. He just boom, boom, coming back around. I'm like, oh my Lord Jesus, this shit's gonna be bad. Yeah. It just. Much as I hate Jordan, I took that fade away. Leon knows. I damn sure did. When it was crunch time, you know what I was going to.
Those 90s jerseys were like,
they were fire.
They were fire. The Pacers.
All of them.
All of them.
The Knicks had a sweet winter. Well, the one.
Those white Utah Jazz jerseys, man.
Yeah.
Those white Jazz jerseys were nice.
Oh yeah, they just. Sonics, like you said, I love the Sonics one. That one I might have to invest in. Who else had a dope jersey back then?
The Suns were pretty nice.
The Suns, oh yeah.
The Nuggets were good.
Woo! With the little skyline thing, they had the little mile high thing on it. It was pretty.
The Washington Bullets before they were the Capitals.
Yes. Damn. They definitely had a few. There's a lot of
cross.
They had a lot of fly jerseys, man.
Yeah, the Caps were good. Caps were pretty cool too. Like I said, the Mark Price sighting, I was glad to see Mark Price get some love, man, because nobody talked about Mark Price.
Nah, he was good. He was really good. I mean,
right, another dude that would kill you in NBA Jam.
Hell, he didn't miss.
Yo, any spot on the floor, pick a spot, any spot, you're gonna make it. And
especially if you play with the cheat codes with the points littered all over. So you get 20 points for hitting them over here.
NBA Jam T.
Yeah.
And Doherty caught every rebound.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah.
You always played it where you had one dude that could hit a three at any time, but then you get one big dude to grab the rebounds just in case
he dunked the ball. Yep.
Now, what do you mean he's tired? Nah, he ain't tired. Go play another quarter.
Oh man, but yeah, definitely brought back a lot of memories. You know, bad or good, but it was good for the most part. I mean, it was bad. You put it like this: the team in the East that you knew were going to give the Bulls the most trouble was the Knicks. And you knew it, and that's what made it hurt so bad.
It sucked always being on the losing end of it. That's what it is. It's like we said earlier, it wasn't really a rivalry. It was a rivalry where you got great games, you have great moments. They always took the W, man. The Bulls always won. It really wasn't a rivalry.
Oh, yeah.
Much has been said about Jordan and his awareness to social injustices, so to say.
You mean lack of awareness?
Oh, yeah, there you go. Damn sure was a lack of it.
Still is.
Documentary.
Oh, yeah. He
yeah.
He's not for the cause.
Shit.
You know, I think Mike, it's hard. You know, it's really hard to get on him at the time because no one was really taking those kind of stances. You had your Alis and your Jabbars, but those were, you know, the rarities. I think now, you know, athletes and celebrities in general are kind of taking on that fight, you know, a little more. So it's, you know, as much as I'm always shitting on him, you know, especially when we start talking LeBron, MJ comparisons in terms of human stuff. But, you know, I do think Mike gets a little bit of some flack for that because you're talking late 80s, early 90s when he's making some real money and, you know, corporate sponsors are willing to give him whatever he wants. And, you know, he's on top of the game and, you know, he's worried about his bread. He don't want to say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing, you know. You know, in hindsight, should he have been more active? Yes. But I also think we shouldn't expect other people to take up our fight if they don't really feel passionate about it, you know? Because then it's not genuine. Like LeBron is genuine. LeBron's been that way since day one. You know, it's genuine. If Mike came out now and just don't throw some money, I mean, he's worth over $1 billion, I believe. Money to him is nothing at this point. It's easy to do it when you got the money.
Word.
So, you know,
shout out to Philippe. He did say he mentioned the jersey we missed, the Magic jersey. That was fire too.
Magic jersey, the black and white dotted pinstripe. Yeah,
that was a good one.
Yeah,
that's
Penny made that look sweet.
Oh yeah, he did. Because he had his own sneaker line. Man, man.
Penny and Nick Anderson, another killer duo in NBA Jam.
Scott Skiles too. They both could shoot.
Yeah. Whenever Nick Anderson was tired, you put Skiles in. That's right.
There you go.
Dennis Scott on that team too?
Yeah, he was on the team. He was on the team. Yeah. Dennis Scott, Tree Rollins, bum ass.
Tree Rollins.
God damn. Who was another? They had another shooter too, and I can't remember the dude's name. Other white dude. He could shoot though. I couldn't remember what the fuck his name was. Damn. So my memory is going. That's the crazy thing about it.
Penny was the other one. Before Kobe, it was Penny, you know, Penny and then Grant Hill. Everyone talking about the next Jordan, you know. We don't know what Penny becomes if he doesn't get hurt.
Oh, gosh, man.
Penny had it all, man. Athleticism. He was banging on the court. He was a good-looking dude. He was, athletic. He was a high flyer. He had the shot. He had the looks. He had everything.
The court awareness. Just one of the passes that just when he went to the lane, went through the lane, he caught it with a no look. Like, I was just, what the hell is going on?
A healthy Penny and Shaq probably do more damage than Shaq and Kobe.
Especially if he stayed. If Shaq decided to stay and just Yeah. Orlando would have had a chip. I can't see them not.
Shaq matures a little bit because Shaq was very immature. He says it himself,
sure.
over.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure.
Mentioned a bit before with the like Jordan Simpson and whatnot. So there's been like stories about how he treats his teammates at practice, and apparently one came out where he doesn't feed Horace Grant after a bad game. Now it looks like
you ain't eating.
Now like Horace been making up for lost time, man.
Horace Grant way bigger than this dude. I'm like, yo, slap the shit out of him, man.
Yeah, you got Horace is whining. Now I'm not feeding you.
Yo. Just imagine him. I wish they imagine that just getting caught on camera. Keep doing it. Well, was it Steve Kerr he smacked? Did he say he punched him or whatever?
He punched Steve Kerr in the face, yeah.
Just imagine that, yo. Steve, what the hell you doing? What, Mike, what do you mean? Damn, you get on my fucking bam, shut the fuck up.
Especially now, like where Steve Kerr's gone in his coaching career, it's kind of
man. And then they can't take you seriously either. Like you got a bunch of young guys that I heard you got snuffed in the face by Mike. You didn't even do nothing, man. I ain't gonna listen to you. Man, damn, that would have been some good damn.
Yeah, I saw that and I just dropped my head. I was like, "Come on, Horace, man, you can't be talking about this."
Yeah, so
that's just something like that happened to me. I ain't talking about it.
I'm
not acknowledging it. I'm not talking about shit that ain't never happened. I call Mike a liar now, knowing you could whoop his ass. Mike lying.
I heard he bitched you out. What the hell are you talking?
Mike lying. Tell him to come see me.
Exactly. Get tough on the camera. Exactly. Yeah. You know my number. You know my address. Give it out.
I would not admit that shit. I'd rather admit getting punched in the face than that shit.
Word.
Yo, Mike got me heated in the moment. Teammates fight. I used to fight with teammates all the time, push them. And Herb like that, taking your food away, man.
Yeah, not true.
Shit.
You remember the term he made up?
Gonna have another,
You remember the term? I'm gonna make you eat your food, huh?
Yeah.
Man, it's just crazy. But yeah, it's some tough times, man. It's some great times actually. My man Mace, man, that please stand up. But yeah, he was. Man, fuck, we should have had one.
Mason Oakley, man, just
Oakley's. He lost a lot of respect for me. I'm sorry. Like that dude, he's
gone a little. I get he's gone off the wall, but Oakley as a player was still.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He was that toughness that he brought. They ain't give a fuck. We love that, and that's what we want. That New York. When we say New York toughness, that's what we go back to.
Yeah, we want to play 4 power forwards and Pat Ewing.
Exactly. That's what we do. We make 2 shooters. That's what we do. And nothing you can do. You come down to the lane. Nope.
Give me 3 power forwards. Do like John Starks and Pat.
That's all we needed. That was it.
And like Hubert Davis, he shit on Davis.
Man.
Yeah. Damn.
Hubert Davis, man.
Poor Hubert. Well, Hubert. I mean, it's kind of hard not to get shit on. But he was good. He was good in his own right, though. He was a nice little shooter. Oh, man.
Starks drove you nuts, man. He hit some shots and then he just fucking, he missed 7, 8 in a row. I'm like, what are you doing? Stop shooting. And then he hit 3 in a row. You're like, all right, keep shooting.
J.R. Smith. I'm telling you, J.R. Smith was the reincarnation of John Starks when he was on our squad. Because he drove you freaking crazy. But some plays he did, his reverse dunks and stuff. Oh, J.R., give that dude an extension.
J.R. Smith will always be remembered for LeBron, what you doing?
Come on now. But yeah, that's what he reminded me of. But he was such a bonus. Starks was a hot head too. He was headbutting people, your ass up. He headbutting people.
Forgot about that.
Yeah. Got in his face. He's I was like, oh. He was definitely a hothead, but damn.
Another thing that I found pretty funny.
Uh-huh.
So remember episode 1, they interviewed Obama. It got him as a former Chicago resident. You go to episode 6, now he's President Barack Obama.
Yeah, and they asked, I forgot who they asked about it. They asked somebody about that. And I thought that their excuse was valid, which was they wanted to show people where they were
at that time
in their lives. So I could get that.
Yeah.
So once they change it, I'm like, well, now that goes out the window because he's just full of shit.
I mean, I found that hilarious. Interviewing the different celebrities at the time. They go to Nas, and you got Jerry Seinfeld in the back. It looked like the most awkward uh, interview ever. Pat Jordan, Phil kicks him out. Oh no, this playing ain't gonna work. He's like deer in the headlights in the camera.
Like I said, give credit for whoever was smart enough to make sure camera crew was filming everything.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Jordan probably had that set up.
I would love somebody to do that now.
Oh man, that would be.
Like, wouldn't you like somebody to follow around Golden State for a couple years?
That would be pretty interesting. Seeing hearing Draymond,
people coming in and out, KD coming in, KD being hated, KD leaving, like all that shit just being filmed on camera. Because you know KD is as big as he is, you know KD's a bitch.
Yeah, he probably
KD is a bitch. KD, I can see Steph slapping the shit out of KD and KD.
Steph, I thought we were Draymond would probably do it.
No, I know Draymond would do it, but Draymond at least has got some size on him.
Word.
But I can see Steph getting slapped by one of the Vanilla brothers and just,
But yeah, that was his. No, that fight between those two was great. Just you hear Draymond, he a bitch. Oh, he a bitch.
Yeah,
he a bitch.
Yeah,
we'll need you anyway, KD. He's another.
I mean, you can look at him now. You could tell, man. This guy's hasn't played a game yet. He's already pissing me off.
It reminds me of wow, can I think of his name? Fake Superman, Dwight Howard. You can't be that big and be that soft, man.
Yeah,
Dwight is super soft. And it's funny when Kobe died, he was on camera and you sitting there, everybody's like, nigga, everybody know Kobe hate you.
Yeah, come on. Y'all didn't,
Shaq and Kobe hated his ass.
Because how he was he had all that talent. He just wanted to be so playful. Like, dude, show a serious side. Just like Kobe did it. He was soft.
Soft. Yep.
So 92 Blazer team, Drexler, Danny Ainge, Clifford Robinson, Brandon Duckworth.
Good name.
It's a pretty solid team. They were 57-25 that year.
Ainge was on there?
Danny Ainge.
Holy shit. I don't know. Wow. Huh.
He was also on that Suns team in 93. Guess who?
Oh.
Kurt Rambis.
Fuck him. I'm a guy.
Kurt Rambis, Kevin Johnson, and obviously Barkley. So, and they won 60 games that year. 62 games. So that team was loaded. So we went back and forth during the week. The Knicks and the Nets. And episode 6 ended with the Bulls and the Nets playoff series. Yeah, that's pretty much how it was. I vaguely remember that series, but the Nets were in it.
Yeah.
Most part. Game 1, they were down by 14. They came back. Chris Gatling, apparently he went off for 14 points in the fourth quarter. And Douglas missed a Hail Mary 3 at the end, and they lost by 3 the first game in overtime. Kerry Kittle turned into John Starks that game.
Kerry Kittle, wow.
Yeah, he was good. I mean,
Horn.
Definitely John Starks. My man, Keith Van Horn. I don't care what nobody say. My guy.
I like Van Horn, man. I really like Keith Van Horn.
Leon used to always give me shit. Van Horn was trash. No, he wasn't trash.
I like Keith Van Horn.
Well, ever since he was on the Knicks, he used to do the field goal sign every time he hit a 3. He come.
Keith Van Horn is the original Kevin Love. How could you hate him?
Exactly. Kevin, I mean, he didn't do one bad, besides the awareness on defense, like I spoke to Leon about. That was pretty much it. But everything, I would take him shit. In this time.
Yeah, and he was battling a stomach flu during that game. He missed the second half, and apparently it made a difference. So that series, And Jason Williams worked Dennis Rodman.
He damn sure did. Killer? Hell yeah, man.
He had 21 rebounds in the game 1, and then game 2 and 3, Rodman went off. I guess Jordan must have yelled at him. So they lose game 2 by 5. Game 3, the Nets were down by 20, and they end up getting swept. But Calipari was an asshole. And
it is. Still is.
You know, times never change. But that's where 98 playoffs started, and then I think they went on to play Charlotte in the following series. And they'll ultimately end up playing the Jazz, which I think they'll get to.
Yeah.
Let's see.
We should touch on what they how they portrayed Rodman too, because I thought they did a really good job there.
They did. I also thought they left a lot of stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
Because after I watched that, I watched a Bad Boy documentary.
And you see how much they left.
You see much more. I think I felt in any episodes that contained other people, there was a lot left out and more to be desired.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think they did a good job with focusing on Rodman's, differences and focuses on his struggle with mental health and, how they needed to bend a little and kind of give a little, because he was different, Obviously, mental health issues at the time weren't understood as they are now.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they did a pretty good job then. Anytime I hear the story about, him with the shotgun in the car, I always think that shit is wild. Always think that's wild. That could have ended so differently.
And it goes to show you how, with the coaches, how much of a difference it made. Chuck Daly, Phil Jackson, that little stop in between with San Antonio where he's misunderstood, that's when he just totally goes off.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think having a guy like Phil, you're right, is all the difference in the world.
Mm-hmm.
It also, I thought that given his environment he grew up in, he's a shy kid, quiet, and then being exposed to everything at once, it finally, let him out to be, who he wanted to be, something he never experienced before. And without Chuck Daly, then, he just finally goes and gets what he, I guess, long desiring for. But Phil Jackson, to rein him in, looking back on it, he's probably a better coach than I thought he was.
Oh, he's
the greatest. I mean,
I thought he was overrated, but
no, he was really good. I mean,
watching Rodman talk about his mom was rough, man.
Yeah.
That was rough, and yet I kind of somehow understand it. I have a tumultuous relationship with my mom, so I kind of get it.
Mm-hmm.
But watching him on camera, I get it, and it was really raw. That part was really raw to watch. But that's, more on Rodman. He's being interviewed and he's saying some things that are just, anytime you watch a Rodman interview, man, you're going to get some rawness.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was pretty sharp for them to touch on.
Mm-hmm. But that's how he was. Like, basically, what you saw on the floor, that's his personality. He kind of told you a story with this game. That's basically
the story he told about Madonna offering him $20 million?
Nah.
Yeah, man. He told the story of how if he got her pregnant, she would give him $20 million. And he was telling a story how he was at was it Vegas? He was at a casino somewhere playing shooting craps, I think. And when you got money, you can tell people at the casinos hold the table. And they literally pause the table. Like everything stops until you get back. And she called them and she's like, yo, I'm ovulating. This nigga jumped on a helicopter, flew to where she was at, smashed, took a helicopter back to the casino and continue playing.
Go.
That is ghost status.
Yo, I heard that story and I was like, get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna find it. I don't remember where it was. It might have been the Breakfast Club or something like that. I gotta find it where, and I'll put it in the group. But yeah, it was wild to watch him say that.
and we were saying before, Robin had a pretty impressive list on his resume.
Oh yeah.
You know, despite all the feminist ways or whatnot, all the drama, he had a pretty impressive list.
People forget. I always say that even now with this generation, they laugh at the way they dress and stuff. People forget, man. Look at Prince.
Yeah, exactly. Prince was a different animal, though.
Prince was pulling dimes left and right daily. He got ruffles and shit and purple suits and super tight pants and the high heels. But
he's pulling a lot of women.
Prince was pulling them, man.
Oh yeah. Just like Charlie Murphy said, he was like, especially back then, the guy that looked most like a bitch was getting all the women.
Yeah, man.
that was it, man. But
we're becoming those old men that look at the generation. Y'all don't know what y'all talk about. Your music.
That is true.
We gotta open our minds and think. Our struggles weren't understood by our parents, and we gotta kind of understand the generation behind us. Their music may not be what we're into, and it may be more melodic and less than what we like, but something,
I try to listen to some of it. I won't lie, I'm not gonna hate on it, but
I've tried. I got an 18-year-old son, and it's hard for me to do.
You're like, man.
But I let him be here, But yeah, that was pretty cool. I got to put that interview in the group.
Yeah, definitely do that. I want to see that. Yeah. 20 mil, man. Pregnant
20 mil to knock her up.
Damn, what the fuck?
Forget about the fact that you smashing Madonna.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
get that. Then you get 20 mil off it on top of that.
Yes. A little bit off topic. Speaking of music, I know tonight, you got Badu and Jill Scott will be on IG Live battling tonight.
Yes, versus.
Quick little thing. What you guys think about that?
It's going to be interesting. I like it, but Jill Scott. Who is it now? Is Jill Scott who else?
Erykah Badu.
Now, if it was like Erykah Badu and like a Lauryn Hill, that shit would get me hyped. I just want to see what she. But Jill Scott, I don't know, man.
Joints, man.
I know, but it wasn't.
She break out Heartbreak Hotel and might be,
Yeah, we'll see. Like I said, I'm interested because I always like stuff like that.
I think they'll have to get away from the win-loss thing.
Yeah.
Exactly. More artists. Because nobody wants to be Manny Fresh. My man's still crying.
I mean, he had no chance though.
No, it was
still
over.
Crying.
It was over. They got to do it like what you call it? The one you showed. Oh my God,
RZA and Premier.
There you go, RZA and Premier. Like that. That's how you got to do it.
Yeah, I think you got to take away the losses, loss factor, and just have them going competitively.
Exactly.
One without a vote total or a win-loss, because I think that part will,
Because they went on for like 2 hours and I was up. Now, usually I'm like sleep by that time, but I was up watching.
If they're smart, they can get that on TV. They can do seasons, and you can have artists and you can do some real damage with that. You can make that so popular.
Get like Trey or something like that.
Dude, you have the season finale, Nas against Jay-Z.
Oh my God! Oh gosh, that would be.
That's literally how you end
crazy. It. Nas would probably want to throw on Ether though. That's when everything stopped. Like,
Jay-Z will lose twice.
The problem is that if he puts on Super Ugly, it's kind of like just disrespectful.
But yeah, that was bad. J.O.B. He's straight, just But yeah, Ether though.
Yeah, that's how you got to do it. To me, you got to market it and you got to get away from the win losses and
yeah, because that's not what it's about. Yeah, they don't make it about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I got Badu for the win. Bad lady. She's gonna throw on Common at some point.
Yeah, I think so. One of the 27 Marley babies that she got.
Facts. I can't go an episode without mentioning Common, so there you go.
Yeah. See, fucking Chicago.
We all talk about Chicago, so I mean, it's apropos, man.
Damn shame.
But I gotta start heading out of here, guys. So I'm gonna leave you guys.
All right, bro.
Thank you for having me as always. I appreciate it. And keep having a kick-ass show, brothers.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, bro. Thank you for showing up.
Much appreciated.
Thank you.
Catch Donk City.
Monday.
Well, it's down to 2. Spend some time, back and forth during the week with the, little Nick's jab, next jab. Well played game, sir. Any thoughts you had in regards to Jordan?
Yeah, hold on for 1 second. Come back up. What's up now? Say it again.
Sam, we had a nice little jab going back and forth during the week. Jab.
Yeah, that was really great. Like I said, we had to. I mean, of course, I was gonna come back. I was at work. That's why I was so delayed. I was waiting for. I was like, "What the hell is he doing?" I was like, "Oh, he think he's funny." Huh?
Yeah, I was waiting on time.
That was a good time, man. That was a good time. I'm like, wait. I look on it. I'm like, let me stop. Nick's getting the ass beat. Nick's getting. Oh, he think he funny. I was like, all right, got something for your ass. 2002, 2003, these motherfuckers got swept. But no, it was pretty cool though. It was just how the Knicks had it. That was basically y'all both. When y'all ran into 2 freaking teams that you knew you weren't going to win. It just wasn't happening. Like in between the Lakers dynasty and then the Spurs, coming around, it just basically, what was going to happen.
Right. I mean, anything you're expecting from episodes 7 and 8 as far as going into a relationship with his teammates?
I want to see more just to see how much of an asshole he actually was. Because you heard that he was a asshole.
Mm-hmm.
You knew it. But I want to hear more about it. But also the biggest thing with him and his dad. And you hear about his relationship, but I really hope they dig deep into that.
Yeah, me too.
But because it's just obviously his tragic death. That's just crazy how it happened. What was he sitting in the car and you got
sitting
in the car, somebody just boom boom shot him. Like that's crazy. And I do respect Jordan for the fact of going into baseball because that's what his dad really wanted him to do. Or his dad loved baseball. He did it for his father. And then it kind of humanized him when he came back and won that championship. When he jumped up, he was on the floor holding the ball, like you knew it. Like he just, like damn. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the last 2, and it's gonna be good. It's gonna be really good.
Maybe you think Jordan was better than Tebow?
Hell no, Tebow's the GOAT. I'm kidding. Nah, but Jordan was somebody I don't think you'll ever see again. Just tenacity and his competitiveness. It's just like besides Kobe, those 2 go hand in hand because they had the exact game, and winning was damn near. It was everything. They didn't win, and everything they probably did, it was a problem. And they expected greatness for everybody they played with, the coaches. It's you don't have that a lot anymore. Just that just drive to go get it. The drive to go get it and become great. You don't have that anymore from a lot of people. Like I said, LeBron, I could say he has it. He started to have it towards when he first got his first championship. I think that's what started really driving him into it. Like, okay, I really want to just turn it up a notch, and he did. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I want to see the relationship with his dad and more about the teammates. I understand it's about him, but once again, they need to improve on showing more of the teammates because that was the whole point that they won. It was a team effort. The Tony Kukoc, the Steve Kerrs, John Paxson. They showed him doing the shot, getting his shot and winning it in Phoenix, and they got to do more. Jordan, we know it's about you. Stop being selfish, dude. Now we know how much you did. but your teammates helped. Scotty, everybody had a hand in it, except for Randy Brown. He was trash.
Just saw Dan Molly's face when Paxton's shot went up. He knew it was in.
He was like,
yeah, he knew it was over. But yeah, I'm excited to see these relationships,
mm-hmm.
and the drive to win,
mm-hmm.
and how much you push your teammates to be better, or
mm-hmm.
worse, you stop feeding them. So I'm excited to see that.
Absolutely.
Bit of other news. I think the league's supposed to be starting to ramp up its efforts to restart again.
Mm-hmm. They said June, didn't they? Something about June.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to see it. Then I want to see the Knicks lose all their games because I want a top 5 pick. But sorry, I'm trying to get better here. But yeah, I want the season to end I just want to see it end.
Mm-hmm.
Either whether the Lakers gonna do it for Kobe, maybe Giannis gets his first chip. It's just so many storylines that got cut off. You just didn't know. It can't end like that. It can't. Have a little playoff series, do what you got to do, but you got to have something. You got to have an ending. I want to see the lottery. Please, Lord, let us get top 5. I'm gonna be pissed. But yeah, it's just so many things. Plus, I want to cover so many. I just don't want to go through the whole season and lose like so many freaking topics I have. I wrote them down. I'm just like, damn. Yeah, it was like just like how we got stopped at college. I basically wrote down every conference, who was going to be an X factor. Like, I'm going through it, and I'm like, damn, we didn't even get to talk about this shit. We didn't even get to talk about the tournament, but it'll be nice. It'll be nice with fans or without fans. It'll be nice,
Yeah, just something to get our minds off of something.
For real, because this is getting whack.
Yeah.
Supposed to go to the Outer Banks. That ain't happening. Everybody trying to rush to get, Jacob, we can try. No. Alicia was like, no. Kids, no, I'm not risking it. It's not happening.
Yeah, man. Happy Mother's Day to your wives and
thank you.
all that.
Let her know.
I think
very important.
Yeah, man. This is a bittersweet Mother's Day and all that stuff.
Definitely.
I know you do some rough times and whatnot, but I'm here for you, bro.
Oh, thank you. Like I said, same thing for you. Both our parents. Big important pieces in our lives. It's just, but they smiling down on us. We doing well. Look at what we're doing our thing. Then no complaints. I know they're happy. We're doing what we got to do. Staying out of trouble as we always did. It's crazy. Another year, we're getting older. Yeah, we're taking it back memory lane. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just all the memories we had, basketball, especially it comes to this now. We used to argue about basketball now. We're just now on podcasts, talking about it, arguing about it, posting about it. Nobody else I would happy with, I can tell you that.
Same here, bro.
It's definitely fun.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll get to that Knicks game. I don't care. Either Barkley or probably Barkley, Garden. I heard Barkley's not that bad. I think it's a little bit less expensive, maybe.
A little bit, but those prices are going up with KD and Kyrie there. So.
Yeah. I forgot about that. I'm gonna try to. Hopefully, y'all get knocked out in the first round. Make me happy.
They go that hater status again, man.
You damn right. I'm gonna hate until we get good. You damn right. I'll shut up when we actually get good again. 2 years, 5 years. God, I hope it's not 10. But please give us something. I love classics. Damn, we need some live stuff.
Yeah, man. But again, happy Mother's Day to your wives and all your sisters. To those out there, happy Mother's Day to your wives and mothers and sisters.
Treat them well.
Treat them well. I mean, can't take them out to dinner, but you're thinking about them.
Breakfast in bed. Sex in the champagne room, man. I mean, hey.
Oh, I was gonna. This is somewhat completely off topic, but that interview MJ had with Ahmad Rashad in like the game 3. After game 2, he had the sunglasses on.
Mm-hmm.
It reminded me so much of the R. Kelly interview. Use your common sense. I don't have a gambling problem. I have a competitive problem.
Yeah.
I swear it reminded me of the R. Kelly interview all over again.
Now that I think about it, yeah, that's pretty good. That's a really good comparison. Motherfucker, you have a problem. Yeah, I have a competitive problem. Yeah, it just involves money, and that kind of goes hand in hand in the gambling. Yeah, you got a problem, dude. Come on, when you betting, how much did he say he was betting on golf? Like for a whole, like what? Man, you betting people's salaries and you bugging. That's a problem. I understand like $1 a hole, just a friendly, but you going way, and you start owing people money. That much money over losing golf? Yeah, you got an issue. You got a real issue.
Yeah, I don't have a. They're underage? Huh? No,
What do you mean? What do you mean? Oh, that's a problem? Yeah,
I can't have a relationship with my kids.
You're killing me with this, man. Yeah, you did it to yourself.
But yeah, that's what it reminded me of. But either way, treat your wives right, treat your moms right.
Yes, sir.
Take care of yourselves.
Yes, sir.
Wash your hands before you touch them. So, on that note, I think it's the end of episode 10. Catch us again, but next week recap episode 7 and 8. Preview 9 and 10. Catch it tomorrow night. And thanks again for tuning in, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Henry. Thank Henry again.
Thank you.
Till then, man, ball out.
Yes, sir. Yo, the New York Knicks said, go New York, go New York, go. All right. Later.